Where was your Zippo?
It was, I didn't have it.
I'm saying it might be windproof, but not that much.
Yeah.
Kelly, are you ready? Cleve?
Yes.
Jim? Jim?
Yes, sir.
Patty?
Yes.
Matt? David? Are you ready? Okay. We'll go ahead and call the Parowan City Council meeting to order for July 23rd, 2020. I will go ahead and give the prayer and pledge of allegiance. Our kind and gracious Father in heaven, we humbly come before thee this time to give thanks for the many blessings that we as a community have received, and we ask that thou will continue to bless us, that we will be able to continue to function and do the things that we need to do for the betterment of our community, and that thy Spirit will be with us tonight to help us with the decisions that we make, that we will be able to make the right decisions and be fair, and we humbly ask of these things and say these things in the name of thy beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Everybody, please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Mayor.
All right. Do we have any conflicts or personal interest in any of the agenda items tonight?
No.
Okay. Since there's no public here, we'll just move on into the consent meeting. Do I have a motion to approve items 1 through 4 on the agenda?
I make a motion that we approve items 1 through 4 on the consent agenda.
Okay, and do I have...
I second that.
Okay, and then just to reiterate on agenda item number 3, Molly Halterman and Joyce Carter, we appreciate their willingness to serve on that Shade Tree Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And also Pat Wall, who is also volunteering to serve on the airport board. We appreciate those. So, at this time, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, Memorandum of Understanding for the grant with Iron County.
This is the proposal that's been talked about the last couple of meetings. It's the CARES Act money that we're going to put forward and pool with Iron County. Cedar City's involved, Enoch, Paragon, I believe, all in this to help their local businesses. Iron County is going to run it. They're actually taking applications right now. Enoch City has already approved and signed this. Justin has reviewed it, made his comments, because he got to see it first with Enoch, so this is the same version. It works for us too. The only thing I need to, is there any, I will be sending this forward back to Dan, that we're all in agreement, or the council's in agreement to the process that the county, let them handle the process. Is there any additional stipulations you'd like to impose?
Well, I just have one question on that section 5 on the committee members. Is Parowan going to have any representation? It says this is an initial, committee.
I'm not aware of any, unless somebody wants to volunteer for that.
Well, yeah, and it kind of states that you can actually just kind of be a non-participating spectator, sort of, too, if you want to.
And it says committee will be initially made up of the following, so
It could change,
see that
yeah.
there's any, if we wanted somebody on it, I don't
We
think
could
there's...
appoint somebody.
Is think there should be. I mean, Parowan's gonna participate, you've got a represent from Enoch and from Cedar. What are these other three, who are they representing?
Maria Twitchell is with the,
Peter, well,
the tourism board.
tourism board, yeah.
I'm not sure about the other two.
I don't know the other two either.
I know Maria Twitchell always looks out for Parowan.
Yeah,
She's a great gift for us, even though she is from Cedar, but she's always looking out for Parowan.
Mhm. Well, I just wondered if there need to be any representation from Parowan on there.
I really don't, I mean, Enoch, Cedar County, I mean, if we wanted to appoint somebody to that, if somebody wanted to volunteer, I don't see a problem with it.
But it said initially, so they could probably be adjusted.
They could be added at any time,
Mhm.
yes.
I think you should go ahead and go and see if you would get anything out of the meeting, and then go
Mhm.
from there. It may just be repetitious, I don't know. It's all new to everybody.
So do you want to just handle it that way then?
Well, and the other thing is, it says the committee does not constitute a public body and will therefore not be subject to Open and Public Meeting Act. However, the outcome of each grant application will be public record,
Mhm.
so it's not actually a,
City's allowed to send a non-participating
So they really
individual.
can't vote on anything, it's just basically discussing.
all they're doing is
Mhm.
looking at the applications, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if there'd be a need, somebody could attend and give input then.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would.
What about the clause, you know, I always look at these where you know, your termination clauses. If you get, you know, for whatever reason, and, you know, you got out of it, it's just saying you'll be, any outstanding awarded funds will be due. So is that all we'd ever be obligated, is the amount of money that is awarded us?
Yes.
Okay.
Minus what we're gonna spend on our,
Right.
you know what, I don't have that list, but it had, what did we get, 200 and something?
280,000, I think the council did dedicate 100,000 to this program.
So that's our obligation, is the 100 that we, approved last
Mhm.
meeting, right?
That would be our maximum, that's, but if we don't spend it and there's more, that's just the figure that initially was budgeted through the county's books,
So you could, say you found something else that was needed, you could apply for more and use it beyond that 100,000, or what?
If the city doesn't utilize it, yes, and
Yeah, it
there's
goes
a
back
business,
into the case.
Right,
yes, you can
Mhm.
push that forward.
Yeah.
and- Yeah,
okay.
The 100,000 was the minimum that we said to the county, that's what, our portion that we would put in.
right, and if we don't
Okay.
amend the CARES Act,
But if there was
there is a need for more to go out, then that's
okay,
where it would be, but, yes, that's just the
okay.
initial amount.
But there is 280,000 available, and that's per capita. It's by our population. So if we have needs, we need to try and spend it. It's our tax money.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what I was thinking, that if there
Yeah.
was some other need, let's do it.
Yeah, especially to help the businesses in any way
Mhm.
we can.
Right.
So,
Okay.
well, I think it looks good. I think we should go ahead with it. And Dan Jensen, his presentation 2 meetings
Yeah.
ago, I think he's got a handle on it, and he's a good man, and I think I'm glad we aren't having to handle it
Well,
in-house.
exactly, you know, you
Yeah.
got somebody else to kind of,
Yeah.
you know, account for it, and he's the auditor, so I think that's a good way
Well,
to
and
do
I
it.
think it's a good idea working together, 'cause
Yes.
there's a lot more clout than
Mhm.
if we tried to do it, or individuals. I agree, Councilman Harris, I think it's in our best interest to help the business community
Yeah,
countywide, not just Parowan, but
Yeah,
countywide,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I agree too.
Okay, well, I move that we accept or approve the memorandum of understanding, the grant with Holmes County.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item number 6, Proposed CARE Acts Purchase List.
This is an evolving list, and these are some of the, proposed, purchases with the CARES Act money that the city would keep.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna hear about that one.
Did somebody hack us?
Yes, I think so.
Wait.
Hacked by,
Okay, where are we now?
hacked by Playtex in the middle of the meeting.
Wow.
Sorry, Cleve.
You hear those sounds, just turn it off.
Cleve, what is PPE?
Personal protection equipment.
Personal what?
Protection equipment.
Projection, okay.
Yeah, and what's the flooring?
That would be the proposed removal of, in the police department in the common area, of the carpet and putting down a vinyl surface which is easier to sanitize.
Oh, okay.
Because of the traffic, the police coming in, they're gonna be the first responders exposed. The firehouse has carpet, they have a good chance. That's a proposal.
Okay.
We're getting bids on it. It's all subject to, does that fit the criteria? Washer and dryer is to put a washer and dryer. Fire departments have a washer and dryer for their turnouts, but first responders, our police department.
Mm-hmm.
Where would that be located?
It'd be at the fire
station.
firehouse.
Yeah.
But, that is just one proposal. These are, a lot of these ideas evolved from other cities' lists that they had put up of, things to look at, and things we didn't even consider, but,
Now, these message boards, or is that the electronic kind of the?
that's the toll boards, yes,
Yeah.
that was on the original list. The laptops, we're trying to get all our old laptops turned in so that we can have the work from home capability. We've got a few, the court has to upgrade some of theirs. There's a couple in admin that need to be done. The monitors, the camera, that's all would be covered because of this. Any additions that the council thinks needs to be on there that we could certainly keep this list going, but,
On the
What's that employee entrance? Is that,
that's taken from, would be a, how would you say?
monitoring.
Health monitoring, meaning only employees come in the entrance into the main office.
okay,
They wouldn't be going through the common area. They would be coming in, and then the glass that separates that office, they have their own restroom in there. There's not in the common area. It's just a separation and health precaution. Same with the barrier across the court screening area, twofold. That's where the metal detector, and then they have to have the temperature screening and evaluation before they go into court, if and when they open it up. And
Plus the building should have never been built without an alternate egress route for the employees. If there was a fire, they're trapped. That should have never happened.
Yeah.
So it's a safety thing as well as a monitor thing.
this is one we're saving in capital for regardless. If this gets shot down, then it gets shot down, but it will happen.
There's one over here, isn't there, an exit on this side of the building?
Just that one right there.
Yeah, I know that goes outside, doesn't it? Okay, I was just curious.
But the employees have no way to get out except to come out the front. If there's ever a fire or an emergency, they have no way to get out except if we put a back door in. So it's kinda like us, if we ever had an emergency to exit, we got a way out, they don't.
Mhm.
We can't have that. It's not, liability-wise, we can't have that.
Okay.
But it also gives a good separation, a good point to, for health checks. Is there, if that becomes a standard monitoring routine, then, and this is, like I said, this list is always evolving. We're going through and getting everything we can.
Okay.
So do we need a, motion to proceed?
This is just this is informational. There's, if you'd like to add to it, I don't know if there would be a
That's
need.
what I was gonna say, because if you're gonna be adding to it, then you'd have to amend it.
Under the action, so we need to,
Yeah.
there needs to be something that,
Need to be in action.
You could vote to continue to pursue the listed items, and also and continue to update the council. That would,
Make it a living document some way, somehow.
well, I'm just saying that if we were just gonna, if it was just point of information, then it probably should have been on the
Work meeting.
work meeting, but action meeting requires some sort of
Action.
action on the part of the, I mean, it could be something as simple as a,
We
Uh,
agree with what's on here, and we would like
tell
the
'em to
ability,
proceed.
yeah, to
that
add
would be,
to
that
it,
would be great.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is that good?
So do we have a motion to proceed with the CARES Act?
I move that we, direct the city to proceed with the CARES Act preliminary purchases and keep the council informed if there's any changes that the staff feels need to be added. But, that's my motion.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're moving on to, reports. Jim, do you have anything?
Well, I did go to the swimming pool to just see the work was done that the contractor was doing safety-wise. Dave was busy, asked me to go, and I think they did a good job of what they did. They're still,
Well, yeah, I went after,
yeah,
and he didn't complete what I thought he was going to do,
Yeah.
and she said that, Alice said she was gonna come back.
well, the original, I think they had a little confused with his original bid versus the one we actually approved. But I think he actually did what, they had lined out on his second proposal.
Okay, she mentioned a couple of things.
Okay.
Come back and do some caulking and a few little things, I know.
Okay.
But there's still those uneven,
Yeah, there's still a lot of work that could be done, but I don't know how much we wanna do. I hope this, survey or engineering that we've asked for can give us some answers on money available that we can, within a few years, do away with that pool and have a new one that's more serviceable. So hopefully we can do that. The other committees, I wasn't able to make the power committee. They went over a few things, and Matt will probably report on that. Anyway, that's all I have to report.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Jim, do you have anything?
Nothing other than if you drive by the, Jesse Smith home, you can see that the fencing's proceeding with the mow strip, and it's, other than that, I have nothing.
Okay. Patty, do you have anything?
I didn't have any real meetings, but I did check on the pool as well, and, lots of kids, and, but no one's wearing any protection at all. I was a little bit concerned about that, but I have to do my research first. And then, the Friday night, concerts in the park have been extremely successful.
a lot of people.
Extremely good, extremely healthy for the community. I mean, they're really, the people are sitting with family members and friends, and they're not wandering, and if they wander, they put on a mask, so I've been really impressed with that.
About an average of 300, wasn't it?
The last one was close, the best one was the first one, 350, and then it just dropped off a tiny bit, but I mean, we've never had crowds like this since I've been going
Right,
to
but
it.
then I talked to old, jet, and I think it was back up to 300 the last one, so I figured about an average of 3.
3 every,
Mhm.
every time, so,
Yeah, and I would say that's probably accurate with all
Yeah.
of the
yeah.
traffic there and stuff, so.
But, I think it's really uplifted the community to be
Mhm.
able to do stuff like that, so, and just be safe, be
Yeah,
careful.
I would agree.
And that's it.
Okay, Matt, do you have anything?
Yeah, as Councilman Harris said, we did have a power board meeting. We did discuss a few things as far as yard lights. There's a few, I think he said there was 19 around that Parowan has put up originally, and they're charging a fee. What they're gonna do is kind of do away with that. As they dwindle out or go bad, they'll just basically do away with it, not replace it, and then do away with a fee on their program or on their bill at that time. Just felt like it was just more of a, city shouldn't have to supply the units and stuff like that. So they still put them up well, the owner still can put them up of the property, but the city won't be doing it.
Okay.
And then, we are at a point again, the carbon-free, power project, that we can pull out. We're to that point right there. Right now, we kinda look at it still staying in, but I think, each time they reach a certain, mark that we can pull out, and I know we were supposed to, have a, update, during this week. I wasn't able to make it to that for it, but we will probably have next power board, a little more information on that,
Okay.
make sure, 'cause I think it's end of August, I think, is when we can, our deadline or something like that, if we wanted to. And then also, we discussed, refinancing our bonds. Was approached, and for the fees and the money savings, which just wasn't there, so we discussed not going, refinancing our electric bond right now. We have the option of maybe just shopping around a little bit, seeing if it is, but the fee was just a little bit larger than we would like, so.
Okay, good.
So, I think that's about it.
Is the nuclear program, are they reaching all their marks? Are they?
So far, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not,
We don't get much feedback, or I don't.
yeah. And they really haven't gone too much right now, but everything, we're reaching where we're at and stuff like that. That's what our meeting was supposed to be this week, where, that Jeremy was gonna do, is seeing where we're at officially, and
Right.
so we'll probably get more update on that once he'll report back to us for power board meeting and stuff like that on there.
Great, thank you.
So for right now, everything looks really good. I know Brad and I was supposed to go to and observe it and see how, a mock-up, right before COVID hit, and we just pulled back, we're gonna do it. And we've got another one that coming up here pretty quick, that we'll probably just do virtual, and just seeing how it is, so we can have a second, set of eyes basically on it. So we're processing, looking at that right now. But right now, everything looks good, money-wise, but like I said, each time there's a trigger point that we can pull out. Right now, don't think we should, And now Jeremy has had a little concern about, we're putting all our eggs in one basket for, that power board, or that, power, so he's kinda looking a little bit at other suppliers and stuff like that, if we can down the road. We don't wanna be tied to just as one, to where it goes.
But we don't wanna be out there hanging dry.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
We're just trying to be prepared.
Yeah, no, everything looks good so far. They're just still in the, permit phases and stuff like that, so.
Good, okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Matt. David, do you have anything?
Yeah, there's 9 trees over at the Meeks Park planted now. I thought there was only gonna be 5, so there's 9, and there's, that Dr. Roth is watering them, so. Anyway, if you wanna look at those. The pond itself, Cleve and I met with DWR on that concern with the water, and, we're working with the irrigation company, and we're gonna get that secured so Parowan's water is used there the way that it's supposed to be in that initial agreement, and Parowan has the water rights, so we're working through that.
Okay.
And hopefully the irrigators will work with us and we'll get that resolved so that we can see that pond's taken care of the way it should be. And then there's discussion, gotta get the water situation first, and then look at what can be done
Okay.
with the pond and the park and, you know, as a whole there. 'Cause there's a lot of different, cooperative agreements there with the Heritage Foundation, the schools, the DWR and the city, and so we're gonna have to work through that and see if we can get it functioning again the way it should be, or decide what to do. But we gotta work on that water, get that taken care of.
Okay.
So, and then I think we discussed the pool a little bit. I went up and looked at it, and I don't know, I had some concerns. There's still some issues there as far as safety, I think, a little bit. And I've noticed, I mean, I have grandkids go up there, and I know people, they come home to cut feet and things still, so. But I'm worried about the screening. If, you know, the schools were doing the screen, when they get their collective, teams together, and they do, like, the temperature check. I didn't see any of that going on. I wonder if that should be something we should do there, do a little more intensive screening. But I was a little concerned with, during the lessons, I saw a lot of congregation, a lot of in that baby pool and things that I didn't think was supposed to go on, and so,
Have we checked the yellow to see what's required?
It's online.
distancing
And
well, I think, I mean, it's just,
none of the workers were wearing masks.
yeah, it's back to how you regulate the distancing, and the screening and things. I
know, but that's what we talked about before a week
Oh.
ago.
So I don't know, they might wanna think about getting them a thermometer or whatever. That could be practical, I would think, so they could check temperature, do something to kind
Well,
of,
I think that would be wise. I think that'd be good to do that at least.
so, anyway, I think that's something we need to kinda keep an eye on.
Mhm.
And really, they're enjoying it. What I can see hey, the lessons are good, the people are, it's really active, so I think people are happy about it, and they just need to respect it, that's all. So,
Okay.
but, and then I don't know, Clay, but maybe I should have just mentioned our meeting today.
I was gonna wait till we got some actual numbers back from
Okay.
from that gentleman.
Okay.
That would be encouraging. I'd like to see what he's found
Yeah.
out.
I think
A
it's
little more
very-
information.
Yeah, I think it's encouraging. I visited
Oh,
with
yeah.
him after, and I think that's gonna be a good
That's
thing.
That's good.
So, okay.
Okay, thanks, David. Cleve, do you have anything?
I just wanted to add to Councilman Burton, when we spoke with the DWR representative, their, grant application timeline is in December, deadline. And there's a few avenues for helping to dredge that, helping to get it back, but there's not a lot there, but we can certainly apply. They'll help us in any way they can in applying for that, so dredging that. Probably one of the main concerns, we'll try to keep it, silt-free and not have to maintain it like it is, but, circumstances have changed. It went a lot of years before it silted in like that. And that was because of the fire, I'm pretty sure, but
Mhm.
anyway, I just wanted to say that he was very helpful in giving us other avenues for that.
Yeah, there's good interest there, and they'll be a good
Yep.
partner, the DWR on that, Meeks Pond.
Very good.
There's a lot to be, we gotta get that water worked out, and when we
Absolutely.
get that worked out, I think all these other things, we
When
can
we-
prevent it from being silted in and do a few things to,
When we initially did it, it was on Sundays, the water master would turn the water into the pond all Sunday, and then back to the fields. And
well, it was a couple hours, I think, but he isn't doing that was Austin Lefevre, and he's
Yeah,
not
no,
able
I mean,
to
that-
now, but,
when we started, that's the agreement that we had with the reservoir company, was that we would take the stream on Sunday to recharge the pond, and it worked really well until it didn't.
Yeah. And that's where we're at now. We've got to get that nailed down to where we get them committed and an agreement, so that we can utilize the water that we have. And whatever way it is, we've just got to get something that is done consistently, and, everybody is on board and because you got to take in consideration, you're involving a lot of farmers on that field and that stream.
But initially, we went through the reservoir company. We had the reservoir company sign off on it.
Yep, it's there.
All of those agreements were done in accordance with procedures.
Yep.
We're all aware of that. That's what we're trying to get.
But really, the only thing that we can nail down is the amount of water.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much we can put in there. How we get it in there was never laid down in stone, so.
Yeah.
That we can do, that's something that we gotta work through, and it was great that it worked for quite some time with them doing that. And, now we'll just have to do a different way, come up with a different alternative to get that water, or that estimated amount. Without metering it, it's, I don't know,
Yeah, well, you're right.
so.
Okay. Go ahead, Mary. Yeah, come up to the podium, please.
Yes, the pond needs, Mary Hanley, the pond needs to be addressed, but also the weeds. I live there. The weeds around the Meeks farm and the lot next to me are a fire hazard. Every time it lightnings, I worry. Every time I smell grass burning, I'm outside. Something needs to be done about the weeds around the Meeks farm and the dead trees, all that. It's a fire hazard for me. That's
Okay.
all I want to say.
Thanks, Mary.
Nope.
If you want to come up to the...
Hi, Carol Cable. Sorry for stepping in late, so I didn't get to the beginning. I just have a question regarding the Jesse Smith home. I've seen all the nice improvements that are going on. And if I recall from previous meetings, the city had discussed trying to diverse themselves of some of the things that were, money pits. And I was just curious as to who pays for what.
The foundation's paying for that. There's no city funds being spent on that right now.
Right.
That's fantastic. I was just curious. I didn't know.
Yeah, they did step up with
Awesome.
a proposal, and the Jesse Smith Foundation is footing the bill for all of that.
Well, that's awesome, because it's a great attraction for us, but I do understand that it, money has to be set aside.
Right.
Thank you, just had that question.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
All right, with that said, we'll move on to adjournment. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.